Good morning, Flosstube. Welcome back to my Flosstube channel and my second Flosstube video. I guess everything must have went okay last time with the upload. Everything seemed to work fine. I went to my sister's house to upload it, and it uploaded much faster than I expected it to. So I'm trying that again today. It is July 10th, Saturday morning. I've got the house to myself on a Saturday. That doesn't happen too often. My husband's working today. He's a carpenter. He works with him and my son work together, our son. So he is trying hard to get a job finished up, so he's working a few extra hours. It is muggy. It is hot. Hurricane or post-tropical storm Elsa blew through here yesterday, last night. We had a lot of heavy rain off and on all day. It was great. Not much wind. A little bit of wind in the evening, but nothing terrible. Quite a few people in the province did lose power though. There were some fires from lightning strikes and things like that. So it did little damage, but not anything serious like we've had in the past. I love a good storm, so I was prepared, had lots of stitching ready to go in case we did lose power, but we were good. I thought I would start today with a couple previous, well, one previous finish that I did years ago. I would say probably 25 years ago, maybe. It's one I've seen a few times. The loons with their baby. It's stitched on 18 count blue, I don't know what color it is, 18 count blue Ada with the called for colors in DMC. And I have no idea what the pattern is. I've given it away since then. But I have seen it. If you happen to know the name of the pattern or the designer, maybe you could put it in the comments in case anyone is interested. I keep that up quite often in my living room, and I still love it as much today as when I first stitched it. Yeah, it's a really fun pattern. I'm not a fan of white stitching. I think I said that last time, but there's a lot of confetti stitching in this one, but it was fun to stitch, and I love it. And then this one is a more recent FFO. I did it last year, and it's one of my own designs again. This is just like the little red quilt, 9 little red houses, and yeah, I finished it with the sticky board or the mat board and one of like Priscilla's finishes with a little bow, and I keep that on when I'm doing a reddish tier tray. I use it for that. And this was a recent finish, FFO, and I love it. It's a free pattern by Lila's Studio. I just love it. I have a few tomato pincushions. When I was a little girl, there was always a tomato pincushion in my grandma's house, my Grammy McCullough's house. And I would love to have that pincushion now, but I don't know where it is. It maybe got thrown away. But I do have a couple of old ones and a couple of new ones, and anyway, so I'm kind of starting a collection, and I have made recently a few tiny little tomato pincushions. I seen one on, I think on an Instagram reel, maybe Brenda Gervais, but I'm not sure. And I thought, oh, I gotta try making one like that. So I made a tiny little one. I should have brought it in here. I'll show it next time. And I've got a few in the process that I'll be able to put in my Etsy shop. But anyway, I just love this, and I put a piece of Kim Deal fabric on the back with some wool to finish it. anyway, two little, they're actually apples, but they look like tomatoes, pins that a scrapbook friend of mine made years ago. And I wish she was still making them, but she isn't. Anyway, pretty cute. This week I had last week I had a finish, and I FFO'd it too. Or I think it's FFO'd. I might add more, or I may end up putting it on a board. But this is the Ye Old Crow piece that I showed in my first video. So I finished that one day last week, and I love it. I love it, love it. And I used a black plaid homespun for the backing fabric. And I used sticky board for the first time. I had ordered some from Amazon, and it came a couple weeks ago. So I used, it worked pretty good. I'm a little scared that I'm gonna end up messing something up with it, but I guess it can be moved pretty easily. So I may try to find a board, like some kind of a piece of wood that I can mount this to keep it out. But right now I've got it sitting on an easel, so I'm really happy with it. Love it. And I have the red bird now in my cart ready to order. This is oh, I had the pattern here. Heart and Hand pattern. Ye Old Crow. Love it. I have a few previous finishes. They're not FFO'd. They're just previous finishes. I did this one in the winter. It's a Redwork sampler, and it's a freebie from the Aurifil site. I say it's Yard Girl. I think it's YRD Girl 60 maybe on Instagram. She designs for Aurifil, and I seen it on her page, and she directed me to Aurifil to get the freebie. I did not use Aurifil thread. I used a DMC. I love it. Love it. And I will probably frame that one. This is an older finish, and again, I don't know what the name of the designer or the pattern name is. This is one that it sat for years in my bag of stitching, and any time that I had an urge to stitch, I'd get it out and stitch a little bit, and then I put it away. This was in the years that I wasn't doing much cross stitch at all. It's Navy Ada, 14 count Navy Ada, and I love it. But again, it was white. I don't know why I ever convinced myself I wanted to do it, because I don't like stitching with white. I don't like the way my stitches look with white thread. But anyway, I love it. I finished it in 2019 when I decided to get back into the stitching on a regular basis more. Anyway, that one definitely I want to have that framed. So that's my, oh, it's so hot. That's my previous finishes and my finishes. So now I'm going to show you, oh no, I have one more finish. This one I just finished yesterday, and it is a Springtime Blossom by Stitches Through the Years sampler. Sorry, there's a glare there. I love it. Really pleased with how it turned out. That is on 14 count tea stained Lugana, tea dyed Lugana, and I used all DMC threads. I didn't have any of the fancy floss for that, but I did do a couple of blended threads. Like the blue, I used 2 different blues to get that color that I wanted. And anyway, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. So that one, I will get that one framed too, once I find a place to get something framed. And another one by that same designer or that same company, A House Is. This is a whip. And I showed you this last time. I've got quite a bit. I've got, I did the whole house and started this tree on this side since I was here last. So I'm really pleased with how that's coming. Not a whole lot left to do there. There's some things on the tree and the rest of the sentiment, and then a little bit more on this side of the border. So I love it. Really happy with it. And that house is 3770 is the color. It's kind of like a very light peachy cream. So I'm pleased with that. I had a new start this week. My first Plum Street sampler pattern, Hello Winter. I really love this one. It's got a little sheep on there. I don't know if I'm going to do all of these. I do really like this one. I like them all, but I don't know what I'm going to, whether I'm going to do them all. This is on 28 count Heritage Lugana. Yep, Heritage Lugana. And it doesn't show up as good here on camera as what it does in person. I was concerned that the cream might not show up enough, but it does. It looks pretty good there. You can see it better. Anyway, I love it. This is a sheep. I don't have his head done, but, and then of course there's more over here, but I really, really love it. First time I've stitched on Heritage, and it's kind of it's got a little bit of a green tinge to it. I like it. It's pretty. I showed you this one last time. I had a new start on this, and I've got very little done, but I am enjoying it. This is on 28 count Ale Lugana. So I got the first house done except for the door. I'm going to wait and do the doors later. I'm not sure what colors I'm going to do the doors, so I'm just going to hold off. So that first house, I changed it from black or charcoal, whatever they used, to dark blue. And the next house, I've got that next house started, and you can just see the shape of the horse that's in front of it starting to take shape there. That's my Monday stitch, so I will get back to that on Monday. And this is another new start. This is Friendship Sampler by Little Dove Designs from Etsy. It was a PDF download. And it says, side by side or miles apart, good friends are always close to your heart. So my sister and I are stitching this together. She lives about 15 minutes away from me now. So we're going to change the sentiment to sisters are always close to your heart. We haven't always lived nearby. She used to live in Prince Edward Island for a few years. So we wanted to stitch one together. So this is our Tuesday stitch, and I'm changing the colors some. There's quite a bit of pink in this, and I'm changing it to reds. So this is my progress on that. Cute. And again, I haven't decided about the color of the door. That is on 28 count. I think it's Sand Lugana. Anyway, that one's going good. I showed you this one last time. The Summer House Trio by Waxing Moon Designs. This is on 18 count Ada. It's like a oatmeal color. I don't know what it really, it's from my stash that I've had for years. And this is my progress on that. So I got the house finished except for the door. I'm thinking I might do a yellow door or a red door, I'm not sure. And then I've got a few bees and the bee skep and bees down at the bottom to add. So I love it. And then I'll be moving on to the next one. And that's all the stitching I have to show you today. I have a few plans that I thought I wanted to talk about. I really would love to do the Anniversaries of the Heart by Blackbird Designs, and I was so sorry to hear that, or to read that one of the designers from that duo has passed away this week. That's really sad. She's certainly well loved. I've had many Blackbird Designs charts, but have not actually stitched one yet. But I followed Olivia from Pumpkin Hollow Quilts and Christy from Crosshatch Quilts, and they both did the anniversaries, or are doing the Anniversaries of the Heart sampler, and I would love to do that. So I went to 123 Stitch, and I found all of the charts there except for the first one. So I didn't purchase any because I don't want to not be able to get the first one. But then when I looked the next time, I'm pretty sure it came up and that it was showing out of stock. So I probably will still try to get that there. I did, I asked about it. I asked someone else about it, and they told me to try Etsy, that they had seen it on Etsy. So I tried a couple of shops on Etsy, and both of them, the shipping was outrageous. Like, one of them was $31 or $32 just for the shipping, and the other one was like $16 for the shipping or something like that. So I don't want to do that if I don't have to. But I'm not ready to stitch it yet anyway, but I really would love to stitch it, and I really enjoyed watching Olivia and Christy stitch theirs, and all the information about their families and their ancestors and whatnot that went into it is really interesting. And I've always had an interest in genealogy and my history. So I think it would be a great project. So that is something that I would like to possibly do in the future. Let me look at my notes here. I wanted to do a couple of shout outs. Olivia from Pumpkin Hollow Quilts again, I mentioned her last time, and Christy too, I mentioned both of them. I finished binge watching all of Olivia's videos this week, and I was like, oh, now it's over, what am I gonna watch? So not that there aren't a lot of other great YouTubers, but I really enjoyed hers. So anyway, I found a couple of others that I had intended to watch all of theirs. So right now I'm watching Made by Michelle McGraw. Really enjoying her. She's a really she has a wide range of styles that she likes to stitch. Some things are way out, nothing that I would want to stitch, but they're beautiful work. And her finishes, she's finishes a lot lately into little pillows, and I really have an interest in that. So I'm really enjoying what she's doing. And I mean, it's not like everything she stitches doesn't interest me, because I mean it's all interesting, and but just the most just I'm amazed at all the different things that she likes to stitch. And she's a mom, she's a boy mom, so she has some funny little things to say every now and again, and she makes me laugh. Anyway, another one I really enjoy is Niecey Lynn. She's a hoot. Beautiful finishes. She seems to have she gets a lot done, and she has a great love of family, that's obvious. So yeah, she always has a few philosophical, insightful things to say, and I appreciate that. So she's great. And another one that I really enjoy is Lisa Abbey. I don't know if it's Lisa Abbey Needleworks or I'm not sure what it is, but it's Lisa Abbey. Anyway, she's so laid back and just so easygoing, beautiful work, and she loves to decorate her home. She posts a lot of things about that too, so I'm enjoying that also. So those were my shout outs that I wanted to mention. Stitchy kindness. I don't shop a lot for stitching stuff. There are no shops here there is one online that I can shop at here, but there's no local shop that I can just go to see what's new in patterns or anything. There are a couple of shops that I can go to for floss, and that's important. But I often post my finishes on Facebook, so my friends know that I'm stitching. And I had a message from a quilting friend saying that she had a few boxes of cross-stitch supplies that she didn't want anymore, and she wanted to know if I would be able to use them. And I said, well, yeah, sure, I probably could. So I was shocked with how much there was. So she sent it on my way. Tons of floss. Like, most of it is DMC, but there's a little bit of fancy floss. Just tons of it. And a lot of it is on bobbins or in floss away bags. Beautiful hard-covered books, patterns, fabric, needles, just a little bit of everything in cross-stitch supplies. So I had a ball going through that. My sister came and we went through it together, and we shared the floss and shared the patterns. And well, then probably a week and a half or so later, I got another message from a friend who didn't want her cross-stitch supplies anymore either. So I said, yeah, my sister and I could probably use it. So we went to my sister's house and went through it. I just am amazed. I'm absolutely amazed at how much floss and stuff they gave us. Fabric, floss, I don't know. I know I'll still have to buy my basic colors, but for just floss colors that you don't use on a regular basis, I will never have to buy them again. Anyway, it was just great. It was fun. We had a ball doing it. We spent an afternoon going through all of the floss at my sister's house, making sure that we both had both colors, or we both had a specific color, and then if whichever one of us had the smaller amount, we would take whatever there was. So it was great fun. We had a lot of laughs doing that. So you know who you are if you're watching this, both of you. I appreciate that so much. We had a great time going through it, and we will enjoy and make good use of it. Last time I showed you a couple of new project bags that I said would be going into my Etsy shop, and thank you so much. They are gone. They were purchased within a few days, and I have a couple more made that I put in my Etsy shop one day this week, so I thought I would show you them. This is almost identical to the one I showed you last time. Same line of fabric. It's a Minnikin Simpson line, Independence Trail, I think it was called. Someone told me afterwards. And it has a red backing, Minnikin Simpson backing, and a tan lining. And that is quilted, machine quilted. And this one is I showed you this one in progress last time. This one is a Joe Morton one. Spice It Up was the name of the charm pack that I used for this one. Nice fall colors in this one. And it has, this is a Kim Deal backing, and it has the same tan lining. So they're in my Etsy shop if you're interested in that. My Etsy shop is Darlene Dion Designs. So it's Darlene, D-A-R-L-E-N-E, D-E-O-N Designs. I have an Etsy shop. I have Instagram in the same name, Darlene Dion Designs, and I have a Facebook group and page, Darlene Dion Designs. And I would love for you to come over to all those places and follow along with me. I post a little bit in all of those places, a few daily life things, but mostly quilting and cross-stitch stuff there. So that's all of the cross-stitch for today. Last time, a few of you asked about this quilt right here. This is called Funky Girls. I'm just going to move the camera a little bit. That's my Funky Girls quilt. That was I guess you'd call it a quilt along that I did with a group of quilters from another part of our province. I don't have the pattern anymore. I don't even know what it was called. We always called it Funky Girls. I don't know if that was the name of the pattern. I can't remember. But a group of friends that I knew were going to, they had done a little black dress challenge quilt that I had seen them do the previous year, and I loved it. It was, they were all using the same basic pattern. And the same with this. Everyone used the same basic pattern. It's a girl. And there were lots of different hairdos that you could choose. And they all had a heart on the chest part of the dress. And so each person could change the design however they wanted. And there were 16 of us doing it. So we each had to make 16 identical blocks. And then we all got together when we went to the Nova Scotia Fiber Fest in the fall that year. And that's where we got together to exchange the blocks. So, and they had made labels for the back of the quilt. It's the girl, the outline of the girl again. And they had them all laid out on a table. And we all signed the labels so that all of our names would be on the label of the quilt. So this one right here, this red dress girl, that's me. That's my block. And I altered my block a little bit. I'll have to try to insert a picture. I don't know how to do that, but I'll see if my daughter can figure that out for me. I had to add a little curves to my girl. The girl was pretty straight. I'm quite curvy, quite plus. So, and I add a little cleavage to my girl too. So it was a really, really fun project. It's fun to look at the block and think about the people that I know that made each block and whatnot. This block right here, yep, this one right here, it's mauve. It has a pink ribbon on the chest. That's my best friend's block. She's a breast cancer survivor. And yeah, and then this one, the green one. Oh, I can't get my finger where it needs to be. That one is my friend Chris's block. So I was just so, oh, and I think the one next to that is my, yep, the one next to that, the yellow one, that's my friend Mary Ann's block. So that was a really, really, really fun project. I enjoyed it. So like I said, I don't know, the pattern that I had is long since gone. I don't know where it came from, or someone did comment and say that it was from a specific book. I don't remember, but if you look back at last week's video in the comments, you would probably see the book that this lady suggested it had come from. So I'm going to show a few quilt things now. So if you're not interested in that, thanks for stopping by. I should say thank you so much to everyone that subscribed. I'm really pleased with how many people viewed and subscribed and liked and made comments. It was just great. I just appreciate it so much. And I do want to do a giveaway. So I think when I get to 250 subscribers, I will do a small giveaway. So thanks again. If you're not interested in the quilts, I'm going to move on to that now. So have a great day to you stitchers, and I'll move on to the quilts now. So I wanted to, again, show you a few of my patterns that or my pieces that I sell the patterns for. COVID, I know COVID and the pandemic, the lockdowns and everything have been pretty difficult for most people. Me, not so much. COVID did me some favors, I gotta say. I worked at a bank. I owned a quilt shop for, let me go back even further. I worked at a bank. And I always, for years, have wanted to own a quilt shop. So I finally got brave enough to do that. And I left the bank, opened a shop in my nearby town, and I ran the shop for 5 years. I loved having the shop, loved it. but I didn't love everything about it. I hated the paperwork. I hated the government aspect of it. My mom came down or was diagnosed with Alzheimer's at the tail end of that. She needed us to be available for her more. Just so many things. Having a quilt shop is fun, but it's not all fun and games. And it's a 24/7 commitment. There's no question about it. It's more than that. So it just got to the point where I didn't enjoy quilting anymore. It just became such a job. And people had told me it would, but you know, I was like, oh no, that'll never happen to me. But it just wasn't enjoyable anymore. So I decided to close the shop. And I went back to work at the bank, the same bank I had left, which I was very fortunate to get back in there. It was a good job. I loved the job. I loved the people. But ultimately, I wanted to be home. And I knew I wanted to pursue my patterns. I had done a little bit of that when I was in the shop, but not enough to sustain a living. Anyway, so then I have a medical history. I've had cancer twice. I've had kidney cancer in 2011. I had a kidney removed. And in 2015, I had my thyroid removed. 2016, I had my thyroid removed. So I do have some issues there that I have to be careful with. So when COVID started to get to be an issue here more, you know, businesses had shut down. Essential places were still open, but they had reduced hours. I didn't know what to do. I was concerned. We had a couple of close calls with people who had been traveling and then had come into the bank the next day. They had been overseas, come in the next, and it's just like, you know, they didn't care. Anyway, I talked to my doctor and she said, no, you should not be working. So I decided to take a few weeks off. I thought, you know, you might be off 3 weeks or a month. That was the end of March, the last part of March in 2020. And I thought, well, I'll just go home and sew and stitch for a few weeks and just relax. So that's what I did. I enjoyed every minute of it. I rarely left the house. My husband did all the grocery shopping and any errands that needed to be done. He did it. He's much healthier than me. Anyway, so the longer I was off, the more I thought, well, it went into like the first part of June. I was still off because the cases were just increasing here in Nova Scotia every day. So I had always said I didn't have time to pursue the patterns much when I was working full time. So I thought, well, this is silly. Here I've been home for all this time and I have not even tried to publish a pattern. So I decided to get busy and get a few more patterns out there. So I did. The month of June and July, I got 2 or 3 new patterns available and it just kind of blew up. Everything really went so well. And so from there, I decided COVID kind of gave me the push to pursue that. And from that, I was seeing that I probably was going to do okay by not going back, if I didn't go back to the bank. So I made the decision to stay home, which is what I've always wanted. I've always wanted to be able to work from home. So I have had a few more patterns. I think when COVID started, I had 4 patterns available. Like previous to COVID, I had 4. And now I have 17 available. So I'm really pleased with the way it's worked out for me. Sorry. So anyway, COVID has done me a favor. So I wanted to show you some of my patterns, and that's what I will be concentrating on for my quilts for the first few Flosstube videos that I do. So this was a recent one that I put out. This is Susie Sunflower Pincushion. And there's a couple of those little pins on there that my scrapbooking friend made, a little owl and a leaf. Anyway, so this is all cotton with polyester stuffing, or you could stuff it with whatever you wanted, but there's no wool on this one. Anyway, a little bit of applique, and really fun. That's a fairly new pattern. Susie Sunflower Pincushion. It's about 7 inches across, a good size pincushion, and that pattern is available in my Etsy shop. And you'd see the link to that in my profile on Instagram too. And this one, home is the nicest word there is, and that's a Laura Ingalls Wilder quote. Can't really see the colors of this good. It's kind of a yellow check background there. There's a glare on it. Anyway, this one came about in the midst of COVID when we were in lockdown, and it's just, and home is the nicest word there is, isn't it? So that's wool. This is wool applique with a little bit of embroidery in the message, in the sentiment. And then this one, this is a popular one. I'll see if I can stand up and show you. This is called Mason Jar Mama. When I had the shop, I did a block of the month, 3 different years. And this was I think this was the 2nd year that I did it. So there's a block for each month. So this was the January block. This is wool applique buttons with a few actual real buttons put in there too. And the heart, a candle, kitchen utensils, Mayflowers for the May block, strawberry jam, the maple leaf block, and I know a lot of people have changed that to an American flag on there. Mustard pickles in August. This was the September block. This is a favorite block for a lot of people with the pencils. It was really fun. And the jack-o'-lantern block for October. That's a pincushion block with threads. And then the snowman block for December. That's an upside-down jar. Snow globe. Anyway, that is a really popular one. A lot of people really like that pattern. So again, that's available on my Etsy shop. It's 25 inches by 39 inches. It's wall hanging size. And a lot of people have done it in cotton. I did it in wool, but it doesn't have to be done in wool. Do it however it appeals to you. And the last thing I wanted to show you is just a little project that I'm working on, a little fall project. Autumn, the word autumn in it. This is wool applique. And a pumpkin and sunflower threads on there. A little bit of patchwork. And a little more patchwork. So that's going to go into a little wall hanging. I have one designed for each season, and I have the spring one done. I'll show you that another time. I don't have the pattern written for it yet. Anyway, so that's what I wanted to show you for quilting today. So again, I appreciate you being here. If you have any questions, I would love to answer them and love to have a comment. And please hit the subscribe button down below. And once again, thank you so much for watching and for the comments. And just, it's been great. My first video just made me feel very, very welcome. And it's a really great community to be a part of. So thanks a lot. Have a great day. Try to stay cool and enjoy your stitching. See you later.